We represent cloud as cloud. Azure cloud, in reality, this is a collection of different locations data center hosted in US, in Australia, in UK, in Norway, in India, South Africa, Japan, Australia, Middle East, to all different places. These all are connected to each other using Microsoft's own networking backbone. And yes, they have connectivity everywhere to all different kind of data centers. In a cumulative way, we call these all data center connections Azure cloud. And I, as a customer, what I can do here, I can access different kind of access methods. Very important and very easy is opening Azure portal, the graphical interface. If I have proper account using portal, I can utilize these services in different format. IAAS, PAAS, and SAAS. Let's understand what is IAAS, PAAS, and SAAS, and how we can use it as customer. Think about you are consultant or maybe you are principal architect in your company and your company asks, we have to deploy IT infrastructure. So what you have in your hands, you have two options. The first, you can recommend we should deploy these all things in our on-premises. So you will purchase data center, tower, rack servers inside these networking components. You will have networking devices. We can include rack server here, operating system and application licenses you have to pay. You have to purchase maybe network connectivity as well. Not only one, but two different connectivity for availability, power supply. Power supply also will be in high availability. If main line goes down, you will have an alternate power supply. Cooling capacity, cooling kind of cooling facility, you can say. You have to maintain security of your data center, physical security and logical security both. Firewall or proxy for secure access, load balancer for high availability. And also you have to consider what if the entire data center goes down. This racks out, this tower server goes down. You should have another alternate data center tower with these kind of disaster recovery such solutions as well. These all things you have to configure, and then after using virtualization software, you can start creating virtual machines in your this data center. Many and many virtual machines that you want to create, and you want to use this for the different purpose. Generally, what virtual machine or virtualization design we have before going for more, let's talk about. If this is a kind of server where we have hardware like hard disks, RAM, and maybe processor. Suppose I have 1 terabyte of hard disks, 64 GB of RAM, processor we have, maybe 4 gigahertz. Using virtualization platform, what actually we do? We create virtual machines inside this, and we can utilize these hardware. We can allocate these hardware to these kind of machines. So basically in backend design, what hardware we have, on top of it, we have one operating system, the OS here. On top of it, we deploy our virtualization platform, install virtualization software. And on top of it, we create virtual machines like VM1, VM2, VM3. Now inside this VM, again, we install operating system because maybe this is a Windows 10 machine, this is Linux machine. And here I will be able to use it separately for different applications, a different kind of purpose. So inside a physical design, I have multiple virtual environments. And these machines, they will be utilizing this hardware. I can allocate, for example, I can allocate 100 GB here. I can allocate 500 GB space for the hard disk, maybe 200 GB space for this. Total, I'm using 800 GB. Out of 1 terabyte, 800 GB is being used here. For RAM, maybe I'm going to use 8 GB RAM for all these. I'm using 24 GB of RAM out of 64, what we have available in this physical machine. So you can see how I'm utilizing my resources efficiently for different kind of virtual machines. But this kind of design we have in this kind of physical server are also in your tower servers as well. Because here also we can use virtualization software and we can create multiple VMs, what I want to create here. So if you are going to deploy infrastructure in your on-prem, you have to purchase lots of things, you have to maintain lots of things. And this cost goes very high. And not only this, but why you're forgetting about hiring admins for this? Data center admins, their training, their salary, their OT amounts, their cap facility, and overall cost, C2C to the company, this will be also included in the project. These all things will be increasing your deployment project cost very high. Microsoft recommend why you are worried about for all these. Come to cloud. In Azure cloud, I'll give you all these infrastructure deployment in Azure cloud. And this comes under infrastructure as a service. It means all these underlying facility, especially with this, Microsoft is not going to provide admins. But yeah, for all these facilities, we have already in the backend here, you as a customer, you can access Azure using portal and start creating virtual machines directly. You have to pay for the machines, and this goes in very low costing. Because it's a very simple concept. If I give you a task, you have to manufacture maybe a pen in your home facility. Maybe this pen cost goes to, if you are going to purchase equipments and all that, just to create one pen, this cost will go to maybe 10,000 rupees, for example. And purchasing this pen from any shop in market will cost you only 10 rupees. Why? Because what you're purchasing in shop, this is prepared, this is created in a bulk environment. Thousands and thousands of pins are being created in factory facility, and that's why the overall cost, the unit cost goes down. The same thing we have here. You are not only using this machine for your company, but Microsoft has designed this cloud for thousands and thousands of customers. So the running cost of these VMs in cloud goes down. You can get a machine as low as 500 rupees around per month for a VM where we have one virtual machine, one virtual processor, maybe 1 GB of RAM with very low capacity. So Microsoft recommend whatever you are looking for this in your on-prem, creating virtual machines, you can create this here in cloud, and this comes under infrastructure as a service. What you are going to get, you can deploy your infrastructure as a service in cloud, and you don't need to worry about disaster recovery, don't need to worry about security for the infrastructure, security for the data center, cooling facility, power supply, networking component in the backend. These all things are already in the place in data center in Microsoft. This is infrastructure as a service. Now, we can understand this infrastructure as a service in another example. If I ask, you have to prepare, I am willing to have a pizza. So if you're going to prepare this pizza at your home and going to purchase a pizza, maybe from any pizza shop, which will be less costly? Definitely, preparing pizza at your home will be costly because you have to purchase base, then maybe sauces, toppings. You should have oven as well. Oven is another investment. You have to bake this, base what you have in pizza. Also bake the pizza as well. Maybe other ingredients that, or maybe if in case you are not going to create the purchasing the base ready-made base, but you're going to purchase flour and then going to prepare your own base manually by your hand in your home, that will cost you maybe more than thousands rupees of ingredients and maybe more than 1,000 rupees of investment for one single pizza. From pizza shop, I can get the same pizza or similar kind of pizza, the services, just maybe in 200 rupees. Because this pizza shop is not only providing pizza to you, but thousands of customers, and they are going to deploy or they are going to provide the services to bulk customers. So infrastructure as a service is something like, I'm not going to deploy everything from scratch in my on-prem, but I am going to get what I'm looking for. I can get this directly from the provider with very low costing. Definitely here, if you're purchasing pizza, I don't need to worry about what kind of oven they are using, from where they are going to purchase the flour, what they're going to use for the base, what kind of sauce they are going to purchase from where. I am only interested, I will pay 200 rupees and I will have pizza with me. That's it. Same thing is here. I'm not interested to know how Microsoft is going to cool their data center facility, what kind of power supply they are using, what kind of security they have. I will just only pay for my virtual machine. I will be start using it. This is infrastructure as a service. But here we have to keep in this mindset that this machine comes with operating system, And after this, every management is in your hands. It means you have to install applications, you have to configure this virtual machine, operating system security options. How you want to use this virtual machine is up to you. All right, so I was talking about in infrastructure as a service, what we have, we can create my infrastructure, what I was planning to prepare here with the help of all these deployments. I can simply deploy this in my Azure infrastructure, and I have to pay very, minimal amount for these kind of things. Instead of paying for this entire data center, maybe this facility will be costing me more than, in very initial phase, 70 to 80 lakhs. Okay. So what we have, I was talking about this example, creating a pizza at your home may cost you lots of, money in this, but simply purchasing the same thing from any shop, because they are creating this in bulk, they will have, this will be available in very less amount. Now, here, when we explore more on infrastructure as a service, you as a customer, you have to only create account in cloud environment, in Azure cloud, and then you have to start creating your virtual machines. This is as simple as that. This is something, all the backend infrastructure is already ready for you, but you need a proper account here. I'll talk about this account, how to create this, and then we'll see what kind of options we have, how to create account, what kind of plan we have, and many other things. But yes, you can create your virtual machines and you can start using it. But in infrastructure as a service, Microsoft as a backend infrastructure provider, this gives you hardware, networking device, and whatever the data center facility we have, these all things is in Microsoft control. On top of it, whatever the virtualization platform they are using, you can use graphical interface and you can start creating these virtual machines here. Now, so here, when we talk about like in this kind of design that we are able to get all these kind of virtual machines, definitely after this, I can start using this for my application deployment, maybe for my database deployment, maybe for my any other kind of file server purposes. I can start using it. And then after, all the security and all the different kind of things will be in my hands. But what if your company is a kind of company in development business? Suppose you are developing applications. You are in the application design, application code design. Now here, if my company is entirely focusing on application design, and that application I have to deploy to some kind of infrastructure, are we going to deploy this infrastructure in my on-prem? Answer is no. Because first of all, in on-prem deploying infrastructure, like this kind of infrastructure, this will be costing a lot of money to me. And in my company, most of the employees, they are the developers. I am not going to hire people for infrastructure management. In this case, Microsoft gives me option for another thing, that is we have platform as a service feature. think about you have one application here, application one code, and you want to deploy this code in one kind of infrastructure. What you need for this? You need maybe physical or virtual machine. You need Active Directory domain service for identity and access management, authentication authorization, or maybe any directory service. You need DNS. You need Internet Information Service. And you need maybe any kind of web server or maybe Apache if you're looking for Linux deployment. Then after we have some kind of deployment like maybe you need load balancer. Maybe you need public IP as well if you're going to publish this application for public user. You need firewall and proxy for your application security. Also, disaster recovery design you should have for this application code. You should have some kind of, including this IAAS, you can include runtime environment like Python or maybe ASP.NET. If you have all these things ready as infrastructure, then only you can deploy this code and application will run. Definitely, I can arrange these in these virtual machines here. I can configure these in this virtual machine under infrastructure as a service. But suppose you are in development business, why you are going to spend your time and money in deploying these infrastructure? Microsoft recommend here, okay, what you can do, you can utilize BYOC, bring your own code. Now, here, you can bring your code to this platform as a service where I have all the infrastructure ready. All these things, what you see here, everything is ready here. You just need to bring your code and you can deploy your application in this platform as a service. We have everything ready. Operating system, virtual machines, runtime environment, what kind of application you want to deploy, like Linux based, Windows Server based. These all things we have here. So these kind of application can be easily deployed, and like a company where they want to focus on their primary business, that is the development, they will not be worried about how we are going to prepare the infrastructure for these kind of application deployment, because everything is ready here under PAAS. It's something like PAAS you can compare again with this kind of pizza example. Now, in this, what we have, I'm not interested to prepare pizza at my home from scratch because I don't have that knowledge. But I know I can purchase lots of things already available. Like, for example, I don't want to prepare pizza at my home. And also, I don't want to purchase pizza from the shop because they have, pre-designed menus. In that case, what I can do, I can purchase something ready to what is already available in the market, the base that is already having all the sauce and this is properly baked. What you have to purchase, what you have to bring, just only your own toppings. What toppings you want to add here? Toppings is like your code, application code that you are going to deploy here on the top and your pizza is ready. It means all the things is already prepared. You just need to bring your toppings, what kind of toppings you want to add, and you have everything in place. Because as a user, as a person, I don't have idea how to prepare the base, how to add the sauces, how to bake this at with temperature. But I know what toppings I want to go for. So I can purchase topics, bring it here, and my pizza is ready. The same thing goes in platform as a service. Platform is ready for your use, and you as a developer, you as a code designer, you can bring your own code here, and that's it. Your application is running. You are not worried about these all deployment. Now see the difference. In infrastructure as a service, we deploy virtual machines, and then we can deploy applications. But for that, we have to prepare all these things in this environment, in this virtual machine. But if you're not interested to prepare this, you can utilize platform as a service here, where we have all these, even these virtual machines are already managed here. You just need to bring your code, deploy it, and your application is ready. It's something like you are a developer, you designed one application and you are going to host it. Is maybe this is on Google Play Store or iOS Store. You just add the code in Google Play Store and your application is ready to use, not only for you, but for other public customers. So these kind of Play Store providers, they're providing you all the backend infrastructure, computing power, virtual machines, runtime environment, any kind of supporting platform, IAAS or Apache servers. These all things are there in the backend. You just deploy your code and an application is ready. So you can say this is platform as a service design. Now, if you talk about next one, that is software as a service. Software service means everything is ready. Everything is with you. So just to refine my pizza example more, creating pizza or maybe baking your pizza in your home is your on-premises infrastructure, what you are going to create. Everything from scratch. IS would be like you are going to the pizza shop and pizza shop says, okay, we have the base. Now you can cook your own pizza here because we have all the facilities. Cooking your pizza, like you can, you can bake your own pizza here, add your own toppings if you like to, but they will provide all the facility. This is IS in more precise, in more defined way. PAAS is like you have all the baked pizza already here. Okay, you are not going to even bake because here you are going to bake the pizza, but here all the things are already baked for you. You have all the toppings here. You can just only put on this. This is PAAS. So if this pizza need maybe 10 activities to bake the pizza, in IS, you can say 3 activities are already prepared by the pizza shop, 7 activity you have to perform. But in PAAS, out of 10 activity in pizza shop, they've already prepared maybe 7 activities, and you have to only perform 3 activity to prepare the pizza, like only adding the toppings. This goes in PAAS. But what in SaaS? SaaS is something, whatever the pizza is ready, take it and enjoy it. That's it. No modifications, no additions are possible. So all 10 activities is going to be performed by the pizza shop. So SaaS is a kind of design where you have ready to use applications. You as a customer, you can just start using the service without any kind of modifications or manipulations, like email service. Like we have any kind of, maybe if you talk about OneDrive services, team services, these all are coming under SaaS. You just log in and start using it. You're not worried about how this Exchange server or team servers or OneDrive servers are deployed in the backend. It means here you're not concerned about how the application is deployed here. But in PAAS, you are deploying the application. Since SaaS application is already deployed, already designed, and then you will definitely go for using it directly. So for a customer, it would be great. If I'm going for example, Exchange or email services in my on-prem, I have to deploy the entire infrastructure. Servers, Active Directory system, Exchange server deployment, their licensing, also deploying the clients, and lots of other things we need. Here, we just need to pay some very minimal amount, and then after we can start using email services. It's very similar that what you are accessing in Outlook.com or in Gmail.com or in Yahoo.com, you just log in and start using the email services. You're not concerned about how the servers are designed, what kind of high availability they have. I, as a customer, I'm also only concerned about if I'm going to log in my Gmail, my Yahoo.com emails, my Outlook.com emails, this should be presenting on the screen. And for all the backend infrastructure, provider will be working. So SaaS is purely designed for applications, what you can use without any challenge, without any problems. These are differences between IaaS, PAAS, and SaaS.